What's up, guys? This is HHTrader back with another video. In this video, we're going to continue the Charles Schwab breakdown. Now, this video was actually, or the portion of this video that I'm showing you was actually done during a live stream, but it was so long that I didn't want to redo it. And there's a lot of important information in here if you're going to use Charles Schwab. On the next video, I will go ahead and show you how to actually set up the format of your all-in-one in Charles Schwab. But in this video, I wanted to go ahead and put this one out there just in case you already have your all-in-one and you're ready to move on to your trade ticket settings, your global settings, and all the settings of Charles Schwab. So watch this video, see if you can learn anything from it. And the next video we'll be talking about the formatting of the all-in-one feature of Charles Schwab. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. I'm on it right now. It says hotkeys, create alert for CTBI, view news. Can you see that yet? Okay, cool. Alright, it worked. Praise the Lord. Oh, look at something else is popping up there on the scanner. Oh well. So trade ticket settings. Let's go ahead and go into that. Trade ticket settings is we have a couple of settings here. Order verification before placing order. Usually as a day trader, you don't want verification because basically what that's going to do is every time you try to buy or sell, it's going to say, well, do you really want to do that? And sometimes you don't have time for that. So I leave that unchecked. Order action selection. I usually just, I think, what do I have here? Use trade ticket with order actions menu. It looks like it's just blanked out. I don't know why. Use trade ticket. Oh, that's why, because I selected the other option. So use trade ticket with order action buttons, abbreviated buttons. So I actually these buttons here over here are abbreviated, like special condition are abbreviated. What else is abbreviated? I don't see anything right now. I believe some of these are also abbreviated as well, but I like to keep everything kind of scrunched in here so I can manage my screen very efficiently. Next thing is the multi-leg, and that's for options trading, where you can actually hedge your position. So let's say if you get into a stock like Tesla, you actually buy the stock, but you want to hedge your position if the stock goes down. Like let's say if you go long Tesla, but if it goes down, you can actually add an option contract to hedge that position. So that's what that's talking about. Multi-leg options default order price is at the midpoint or at the bid and ask. So that's basically where is the default order price. The bid and the ask up here is the 414, or they may actually be talking about the option itself, bid and the ask, because those are a different bid and ask than the actual stock. Price increment. So when you use your arrow keys out here, let me exit this real quick. When you use your arrow keys here, like on your keyboard, if you use your arrow keys, the increment. So you see this one's going up 1 or 12, 16 or whatever. And if I use the up and the down, it's the same thing, same increment, one level increments. Let me pull that back up, and you can change that right in your trade ticket settings. Okay, so that increment right there, instead of doing 1, you can change it to 10, 5, whatever you want to in this increment price button. The other thing is the cancel button. So what does the cancel button do? Does it cancel the last submitted order for a current symbol, or does it cancel all equity orders for the current symbol? Mine cancels all. You can actually set it to cancel the last thing that you put in, especially if you do multiple entries. So let's say if you had like 3 exits already out there, and you didn't want to cancel them all, you only wanted to cancel the last one you put out there, then that's what that would be good for. The next thing is notifications. So on your notifications, how you can actually set up your notifications when it has news. Like if a stock gets news or is getting news throughout the day, you can set up a sound for that notification. I don't really care about sounds. With most of these penny stocks, their news is bad anyway, so I don't really focus too much on that. If you're trading higher caps though, like Tesla or something where actual good news or big news is coming out, you may want to set a specific sound for that. Equity hotkeys, my hotkeys. So my hotkeys are set up here, and I'll be making a video, a shorter video than a live stream to explain all this. But here are my hotkeys. I have hotkeys to sell 5, sell 25, sell quarters, sell 50 shares, sell 100 shares or buy 100 shares, sell and buy 100 shares, to close all. So a lot of times when you hear me say I'm getting all out, I'm hitting what I call my panic key. So it's going to close everything no matter what, just close it all. And then I have a control N for canceling orders. So instead of having to press this button, I could just cancel from my hotkeys. And I'm about to go through all this down here, but buying 200, 300 shares, have those hotkeys in there, and then I have some pre-market hotkeys as well. So with each hotkey, you have to enter a specific keystroke. So what combination of keys is going to do the action that you want? You need to set this to something that you won't hit by accident. Okay, because when you're on your live trade, I'm telling you, accidentally trading is the worst thing you can do. First of all, most of the times you don't know that you did it. And so when you do look at it, if you don't have this positions box up here where you can see your positions, that thing can be going all day without you even knowing it. So it needs to be something that you won't hit by accident. The next thing is the action type. So what kind of action do you want this thing to do when you hit it? Do you want it to load a specific quantity in the let me move this to the side a little bit. Okay, you can actually have it load a specific quantity in here. So let's say if you wanted to load 100 shares in there, you can make a hotkey to do that. If you wanted to have a pop-up execute dialog, which means it's going to ask you, hey, this thing is about to execute. Do you want that to happen? That's all that means. Or you can load order parameters. So you can actually specify all order parameters, not just the quantity, but everything. So you can do the venue, you can do the order type, the stop price, the timing, all of that with one push of a button or a combination of buttons. So instead of just the quantity, you'll be able to hit a hotkey. Let's say if you're trading pre-market, and then you switch over to you're trading 100 shares pre-market, and now you want to switch over to regular market or smart without having to like press any buttons. You can set up a hotkey to switch you over. Okay. The next thing, quantity. Again, you already know the quantity that you can set up for a hotkey, whatever quantity you want to trade for the button. The type, limit order, market order, stop order. If you're doing pre-market, it's only going to allow you to set up limit orders. If you're doing market orders, market orders are probably the market orders will fail you anyway. They when you try to buy market, it's going to fill you wherever it can. Okay, stop orders, of course you've seen me use stop orders a bunch of times now, but you can actually set stop orders. I don't have any stop orders. I usually just set up my own stop orders manually over here, when I put my stop in or whatever, and that just works for me. I'm comfortable with doing that, but I could have hotkeys to set up a stop order. So let's say if I wanted to stop out, let's say if I only wanted a 10-cent loss, I can set up a hotkey to enter that 10 cent stop or whatever to enter that stop without me having to go through the process of typing it in and doing all of that other stuff. So you can do that. The next thing is the limit price. So we have our limit price inside ask, inside bid here, which means do I want to buy close to this inside bid or this inside ask? And what it means by inside is the price action that's going on in between the bid and the ask. So you may see here 413, but in between there are a lot of smaller decimals that are not accounted for on the level 2. So that's what that's going to help you accomplish. Either you can trade inside ask, inside bid. Also, if you're doing selling, if you are selling, you can choose to sell at the ask or you can choose to sell at the bid, whichever one is the one that goes with your trade plan. Okay, hold up. Let me take a breath. All right, back at it. So delta. What is delta? Delta is going to be your it's going to allow you to sometimes fields are very slow, right? And what your delta is going to do is say, well, if you can't fill me at the inside ask or at the inside bid, I will give you the option of maybe 3 cents below or 3 cents above if you can't fill me at that certain price, because you got to remember you don't have direct access with the Charles Schwab broker. So sometimes you need to put a little delta in there or you may not get filled. So you can put as much delta as you want above or below the price depending on the price action. Okay. All right. So peg difference, I don't even use that. I don't even worry about the peg difference. Max floor, don't use that. I'm pretty sure you have to. What do you need to do for the max floor? I believe it's a certain quantity that you have to have for some of these to. Okay, and this is another thing I forgot to say. Minimum quantity. So let's say that you don't get filled. Let's say that you put in an order for 2,000 shares. What is the minimum quantity that you will take? Let's say if I want to put in an order for 2,000 shares, but it doesn't go through, I can put in a minimum quantity of 1,000. So it's at least going to give me that 1,000. Okay, even if it's struggling to fill the rest, at least give me the 1,000. All right. We went over the type, limit price, delta, peg difference, max floor, time in force, day, good till close, fill or kill. FOK is fill or kill. So if it can't fill the 2,000, don't fill anything. Is basically what it means. If you can't give me all 2,000, don't give me anything. All right. Oh, what does A and O mean? I never use A and O, so I don't have it on the top of my head. Of course, this is a live stream. I didn't research any of this. I'm just flipping over and just going through it. But brackets, profit exits, if you want to take profit, let's say if you want every 10 cents, you want to set up a bracket that's going to take profit at 10 cents. You can do that. Trailing stop. Let's say if you're following the price by 10 cents or 20 cents, you can set up a hotkey for that. If you want to do a stop loss, that'll let you put a stop loss in below. Let's say if you want a stop loss at 20 cents, if it goes down 20 cents, give me out. You can do all of that with hotkeys. Now this is a major reason that I switched from TD Ameritrade to Charles Schwab, because of the amount of detail in the hotkeys. Major reason. I don't even care about the broker issues. The hotkeys made me kind of be like, yo, let me get over here, because these hotkeys really help. Now I do understand that there are better hotkeys in paid services, but for a free broker to have all of this detail in their hotkeys, man, I'm like, bro, let's get it. But anyway, those are the hotkey setups. hotkey, you can always disable all. So if you don't want to use hotkeys, or you want to make sure you don't hit them by accident, you can disable all. You can, if you disable, you can always enable all. I think I did everything right here. Okay, order quantity. So let's move on to the order quantity. What is the default quantity that you want in your all-in-one? So you can actually use a default quantity. You can turn this on and say, hey, I want a default quantity of 100 shares every time. So you don't have to worry about typing in 100 shares. But me, I put mine on the last entered. So if I did enter 200 shares here, it'll remember that 200 shares for the next entry or whatever. Maximum equity order quantity you can submit a new order for. So you can actually limit yourself. Let's say if you have a real problem with sizing, you can limit the size that you can actually take. So let's say if you set this to 100 shares, it'll only allow you to do that 100 shares, right? Now you can get bold if you want to. See, this setting will only affect the quantity for new equity orders submissions. It will not affect the quantity field for the following closed position hotkeys. So your hotkeys will still be the same. It will not affect save orders, resubmit orders, conditional orders, or change orders. It'll only affect what you have right here in the all-in-one that you manually put in. It'll limit you to that 100 shares. But if you have a hotkey that is set to 500 shares, guess what? It's still going to work. So don't hit that hotkey. Okay, so conditional orders. So conditional orders are kind of like the stop limit buy or the stop limit sell, where a condition has to be met before a order gets put into the queue. So let's say if the order drops, let's say the order drops like to a certain price level, and now it's going to put in that next order that needs to be filled. Limit buy, limit sell, whatever needs to be done. But this is saying expiration date, expiration range on that. So how long do you want a conditional order to sit out there? It could be for a day. It can be for a max of 180 days. Okay, commissions. Oh, we don't have to worry about commissions. But you can include the commissions in your order costs or proceeds. Like, let's say if you want to practice with Charles Schwab for another broker. Let's say if you're going to use Lightspeed or what else? Centerpoint or TraderSync or some kind of paid broker. You can actually use this to kind of estimate how the pricing would be with those brokers. So it's kind of like a practice for those brokers. Okay, so we went over all of the trading. The news, we hit up the news. It's already got all the news that you will need selected. The only thing that it doesn't have selected here are Forex news outlets. Option chains, it's already got all that you would need for the options. You just leave those if you're going to trade options. Account, how is your P&L going to calculate? Will it calculate off of the close? Will it calculate off of the open? Wait a minute. Is this why my thing wasn't? No. Okay. No, it should still be calculating. All right. Midpoint. So we got my calculating position day on the close. So that means at the close of each day, if you're holding stocks, it'll recalculate based on that previous close. Options, calculate options pricing for P&L calcs. So using midpoint, using bid and ask. This is options stuff. I'm a stock trader, so maybe if I read up on that, maybe I'll know a little bit more about it. Update equity profit and loss during after hours. If you're going to trade after hours, this would be good to have on if you trade after hours. If you don't have to worry about it. Global settings. So you see these indices up here. You can actually change those indices in these boxes. That's how they get up there. I have mine specifically set to watch the SPY and these other two. I haven't really looked at these other two a lot because I've been trading penny stocks, and penny stocks usually don't care about these. Out here, looks like CTIB is trying to come back up. SNSS has also popped onto the scanner. But yeah, everything else, the refresh rate, depending on how your CPU is, if it's slow, you may need to slow down this refresh rate. Automatically save loadout, or I'm thinking about Call of Duty, save loadout. Alright, automatically save layout and settings. Inactivity log out after 1 hour. You can always change the inactivity log out. And when a new message arrives, like let's say Charles Schwab sends you a message like, hey, the broker's having real issues right now, you can show that in your system tray, but it'll always be here. So you can, and they actually sent some news. I'll go and look at that after this. Symbol autocomplete. So when you type in your symbols in these boxes, it'll auto-complete them, or give you some suggestions, like a drop-down suggestion. Okay, animations, change background color of grid cells to show tick direction. It's already doing that, so I don't want to uncheck that. I want to know which direction the ticks are going. Display themes, you can always change to your dark theme, but I prefer the light theme, which is weird because in every other thing that I use a dark theme, but I prefer the light theme to this. The dark theme just doesn't go well with me. The sounds, if it'll select it, you can actually have sounds for your when you get filled, when you enter an order, when you log out, when you log in, or when you cancel an order. Okay, you can just select a sound from your computer or from the default sounds that they have, and you can do that. If you want to play a preview, you can play the preview. Stop button right there. Preferences. Consent to share data with Charles Schwab. You can actually allow them to monitor your system data if you're having problems. Save changes on closing tools. I always prompt to save changes so it doesn't just automatically think that I want to save. Auto install newest versions of Charles Schwab. I always leave that on automatic because usually the newer version actually solve problems. But that is it for the settings. I think I went through everything there. And yeah, I think I went through everything there. Went through the hotkeys. You can set up alerts for any ticker that you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The alerts are pretty much just like any other broker. You can set a new alert, get this little open box. You can put in a name. You can name your alert, put in the expiration date. If you have templates already saved onto your computer or something that you want to use in Charles Schwab, you can actually upload those templates for an alert. And that's usually if you have to like completely delete Charles Schwab for some reason, you can have that file saved to your computer so you can instantly just re-put it in. You can set conditionals if you want to in your alerts. And this is where you save the template. Save as template, set trigger actions. You can set a beep or a one-time notification here. But yeah, that's it. Man. But yeah, that's about it on the settings. Alright guys, so you saw what was in the video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.